So there's quite a difference between compassion and charity. And in life, not all scenarios are equal or all things work out the same. In doing this, we deal with a lot of loved ones having passed away and not leaving keys, or house fires, or other tragedies that lead to you needing keys made for vehicles or boxes or houses. And generally, we're going to have to charge you for that because that's what we're in business of doing. I'm very sorry for your loss, and it is tragic, and we're sorry, but we still have to do what we have to do to make a living and support our loved ones. With that being said, not all situations are the same, and that's not always going to be the case. So, yesterday, when I got a call that this lady's mom had literally just passed away within a couple hours, and during the cause of it all, she had lost her keys while trying to get medical assistance for mom, and the ambulance ran over her keys, and then several other vehicles ran over her keys. And so she called us and told us the situation. I asked as few questions as I had to in order to figure out what she needed and how we could fix her. And I told her, don't worry, we'll be there within the half an hour and we'll come get you fixed up. And she never asked a price, and I didn't feel the need to give her a price because at that point in time, she doesn't have too many options, and she's got far bigger problems than that. So when we get on site, taking consideration, we were already walking out the door to go do another job, and she was literally on the way, so I had to drive 2 minutes out of the way to make my stop. And when we found her key, we were able to put it in the truck to make the new one, which repaired the bend out of it enough to not only make this key start, but I went ahead and made her another key, and we programmed it to the car. And when I got the first key to start, turned the car over, you could hear just a squeal of relief and elation from the young lady whose car wasn't able to start in the middle of all this. And so we got all the keys working, and we got everything together. And so at this point in time, I have a couple of dollars into a key and a pit stop on a job I was already going. So at that point in time, I decided that this $100 job that we just did means a whole lot less to us than what maybe a little compassion could do for her on a day like this, that maybe a small act of kindness can make it better. And we already know that she'll never forget this day, and she's always going to remember either well or sourly the locksmith that came and saved the day. So I decided, since we were already on the way to another job and I made no extra trip for her, and the key I sold her cost me less than $5 to replace, I didn't need any money this day, and we just let her have it. And when I gave her the keys and I told her, you could tell she wanted to hug a stranger. She didn't know what else to do. So I hugged that lady on a day where she just lost mom because she needed kindness from a stranger, and apparently I did a good enough job. She wanted a hug. Well, she was kind enough to give us a review online, so here I'm going to share it with you real quick. My mom died yesterday. I left my keys on the back of her car when I was talking to the paramedics. My stepdad drove her car and my keys ended up on the road and got ran over repeatedly before we located them. I called these guys and they came right over. They were able to fix my key and made me a new one. They didn't charge me and even hugged me. It meant a lot that I am so grateful to the kindness that still exists. Yesterday was hard for me. They didn't have to be so kind. They run a business, but humanity overshadowed, and it was a beautiful thing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. They were my angels for me yesterday. Stephanie, we're glad that we could bring a little light to your day that day. It was no small problem. And when we were all done and I handed her the keys, the first thing she asked was, what do I owe you? She didn't expect any charity. She didn't expect any breaks because she was having such a terrible day. And I knew we were appreciated, so I did not mind giving her a little compassion. She was willing to pay for it all. Never even asked a question. I could have taken her head off and she would have probably happily paid it. But instead, we tried to brighten what was a sour day. I can't do this for everyone. I can't do it all the time. But situation demands things often. And there's your wholesome story for the day. A little locksmith chicken soup for the soul. A chance to give a little compassion. Try and make someone's day better. Because I decided a random act of kindness was better than $100 in the pocket that's not even going to cover my tank of gas. Have a good one, guys. Try to be a little compassionate out there.